What's going on, everybody? Just giving this live stream a chat, or a test rather. Don't expect it to be too amazing, I guess you could say. Let me let everybody know. Let's get this out to the people real quick. Make sure this is working for other people to join us. I am going to go make me some coffee. Hey, what's up? We got 3 viewers in here. What's going on, y'all? I believe you can hit the chat to join the conversation. Let me check. Yep. Hit that chat box. Let me know who's here. Hey, what's up? We got 3 viewers in here. What's going on, y'all? I believe you can hit the chat join the conversation. Let me check. Yep. Actually, it needs to go. This is my first time doing this, so I'm not sure how you're able to see this or what you're looking at here, but what's there, my dude Dylan? What's going on, man? Good morning. We need to figure out how to get you on here so we can sit here and talk the business, bro. Trying to see how y'all see it. Man, good morning. We need to figure out how to get you on here so we can sit here and talk the business, bro. Word. Yeah, so basically today we're going to be looking at our plays. Word. Yeah, so basically today we're going to be looking at our plays. Oh, it only allows me to open it here. Okay, let's do it this way then. That is. Yeah. Tonight I'll set your stuff up for streaming. Yeah. Let's do it. Dylan, I just saw your message about setting up streams for tonight. That'd be great. We got 4 viewers in here. If you can see the chat, drop your name in there so I can see who's following, who's watching. If you got any questions about any stocks you want to discuss while we're sitting here, go ahead and drop it in the chat as well. Yeah, let's do it. Dylan, I just saw your message about setting up streams for tonight. That'd be great. We got 4 viewers in here. If you can see the chat, drop your name in there so I can see who's following, who's watching. If you got any questions about any stocks you want to discuss while we're sitting here, go ahead and drop it in the chat as well. What's up, man?
Oh shit. I gotta figure. What up?
What's up? What's going on?
I'm watching the stream.
I guess I gotta put this over here so I can watch it. Yeah, no,
I'm
man.
trying to see.
Huh?
Trying to see if the audio comes through on the.
Hold on,
What's that?
my wife's calling me. Hold on. Hey, hey. Are you serious? Was my phone didn't show any missed calls at all, and it's been on in the room in the charger too. Yeah, that's the only way I knew you were calling, is because you called me on Facebook. That's crazy. That's weird. It's probably because it died and then I unlocked it or something. Like, I think it's done that before. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how that's. I think that's in the iOS. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, it just wasn't turning over or something? That is crazy. Yeah, I'm glad you ended up calling me on Facebook because I didn't know. So you headed home? You headed home? All right, baby. I'm glad it started for you. That's crazy. No. No Dijon. Do not use the Dijon. Your mom asked me if I put Dijon in that recipe. I don't. What? Okay. Yeah. Well, like I said, I love you. Yo, what up, man?
The car breaking down, boy.
It wouldn't start for some reason. You know, it's a fucking polar vortex coming through here.
A polar polar vortex.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be like 8 degrees on Monday.
It's supposed to be negative 9 degrees Fahrenheit here today in Germany.
Jesus Christ, man, I don't see how you're doing it.
That ain't even shit, man. I was in New York, and it was like negative 50.
That's wild.
Like, and I had to go stand outside and scan people's ID cards, man. It's so cold that when you breathe out your nose hairs freeze instantly.
Yeah. Hey, somebody had a question. It's saying that he's saying he doesn't have a chat box on the mobile version of this. Do you know anything about that?
Like on YouTube Live?
Yeah.
Is he clicking the direct link, or is he going? Because if you like see the link or whatever, like let's say I click it on the Discord, I mean it'll bring it up. But like if I clicked it on Facebook and it didn't give me the option because you're technically not logged in on that one, so you need to be on an actual live YouTube. Go to the app and then type it in. Go to the channel or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can get your chat box, but you need to be on the actual YouTube app itself.
Do they keep recordings of this, right? On the channel?
Okay.
Is the recording gonna stay on the channel?
Should be.
Yeah. I was just wondering. I'm just shooting the shit right now to see how it works while the market's down in case I want to start it up during the week. We got somebody in here with us if they can chat and drop their name.
It's the hardest thing about streaming, man. People don't like to ever talk. They just like to listen to you.
Yeah.
Until you get massive, then they'll actually talk. But like, man, I used to try to call I'd have playing any kind of game, man, like 20 to 30 people on my stream, and like only one or two of them would talk.
Yeah.
Even like stock streams, like I'll have 70 on there, but only 4 or 5 of them will talk.
Right. Yeah, I'm just seeing how well this will work versus me doing individual videos on my trade reviews, like going down my right now I'm going down my most recent list, looking at how some of this stuff. What's up?
It helps. Your like individual uploads help with your actual. It's like you're growing in sub count because you're constantly pushing out a new video like every day, and let's say like for one you can do one trade review per day and then like one like just general talk or whatever. So you can have like a double upload if you want to do that. Some people upload for an out. It's just something they can watch the trade review. You can just continue for something. But I mean, you're something.
Hey.
Because more videos are floating around.
Pascal said, "Hey, came here randomly looking for a reaction with coffee stocks on YouTube." Because I called it coffee and stocks. Yeah. What's going on, Pascal? Glad to be here, man.
I got this new hairstyle I'm working on, man. It's looking like trash right now, but we worked on.
You need to get that fixed, bro, before you get back in the limelight. I seen you haven't shared any videos here lately.
No, I ain't really done nothing.
Yeah.
I've been trading and stuff, but like other than that, I've just been kind of in Discord here and there, moseying around. I was thinking about uploading the second video to what I learned as a trader series, probably Sunday or Monday. Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. I should probably push that out. But I'm working on this slick back haircut. I can't get a haircut, so I'm just looking back, man. I'm trying to put this stuff in a ponytail.
Yeah.
Have a little 1-inch ponytail man bun thing going on. They don't care.
I need to figure out how to get you in here. I use OBS Streamlabs OBS for my streaming.
Yeah, that's what I use. I was trying to say, man, like tonight when I get off work, which won't be anytime soon, but I can come through and like make sure your audio levels are right. Make sure you've got you can hotkey transition to like whatever you want instead of like, because I know you're using display capture. I'm pretty sure right now.
I am.
So like we can go through and I can tell you hotkeys into like let's say you want to view the chart. It swaps right to the chart, right to the your display capture, stuff like that. So it's cleaner. Make sure because me when I'm listening to you on YouTube, just make sure the people that you're talking to, the audio's coming in crisp, and people can actually hear. So to get that done, then we can get like you some pretty much trainers, chins, and
What's
all
it?
that kind of stuff.
What's it? What's the audio sound like now? Like, how was it sounding?
Let me look. Let me listen. It sounds good. It could be a little higher for your desktop audio.
Got you.
But I wouldn't recommend. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I was just turning off the media volume. But yeah, we can get your audio and everything looking good.
Hold on, he's asking me about a stock. Give me a second.
Let's see. So here's a coffee stock NEXE. Is that a coffee stock?
Oh, I went to NEVX. Let me see. I was looking for it. Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Is that daily?
Yeah, it is daily. Looks new.
How long has it been around? Years wise?
Looks like mid 2020. It did a stock split. It did a stock split. I bet they changed the symbol.
I mean, whatever you're looking at right there, if that's NEXE on like a year to day, I don't know exactly what kind of time frame you're looking at.
That's 4 hour. That's on the daily.
4 hour 1 day? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How much is it a share?
It's currently 509. It just broke through a key level of resistance here at the 459. Found some support and bounced to the 509. So.
What's that peak right there? The one like it ran up and then dumped.
Right here.
I'm looking at a little bit of delayed time. I'm watching the stream. It's like a couple seconds behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that peak, that little red sell off that you had midway through the chart. Yeah. I mean, right now it looks way more healthier than it did when it was doing that, because it hit that and instantaneously sold off. I don't know what the IPO price was for it, if they, or whatever they started out. But if they split, you wouldn't know anyway.
What I'm expecting to happen on this stock is it looks like it's overbought on the 1 hour right now, so we could pull back and find support on this 459 previous level of resistance, I think, and then it can continue moving forward.
Has it been? Let me look at this. Let me see. Has it been closing over? It's been closing over that big resistance level. So. But I expect it. Yeah,
it closed over.
Come back to that level, yeah.
Yeah, it closed right here. That blue line right here, that dark blue, is the close for the day before Thursday. It closed above that. It actually found support there on the 11th, which was Thursday, and bounced up. Yeah, I think we'll come back into Monday with pre-market. It might pull back a little bit. Because at the end of the day and after hours, it looks like, or into market close, we started seeing that sell-off. Of course, it was Friday, so that's typical, but it's selling volume, not a sell-off. Let me rephrase that. But I would look for this pre-market and see how it opens. If it does come up pre-market, like gap up, be careful on it gapping back down or filling the gap, rather. What was
I going to say? What's like your average volume on it, like the daily volume?
Let me see.
I like them 7 to 9, like 7 to 10 million volume stocks that aren't really influenced by the outside world.
Yeah. Let me pull some of this out for y'all. I know my chart analysis can cause issues for people. Tech Trading hit us up with another stock. Let me let him know I'll be looking at it shortly after this one.
It's like ABC. I'll look at it right
now. But yeah, just to confirm, Pascal, if I'm not saying that right, excuse me, but this might open up pre-market, pulling back, but let's look to make sure that it finds support. As you can see, this 459 is a key level, and once it broke above that, it actually kept running. So let's see if we find support above the 459 going into pre-market and market open Monday. And then that'll determine if you'll have a continued runner going throughout the week. It's a fairly new stock, so it's hard to identify previous historical price action based on momentum on the trade. But just looking at what we have, we did see some sell volume come in at the end of the day Friday, although it did have some large buying volume spikes from the 10th to the 11th. All looks like pre-market, so people are loading up on it for sure. I think it's going to be a runner. I don't know what the price target is because I don't have previous price targets to give you.
I'm looking at that ABCL stock that this guy said to kind of look at.
I don't have a.
It looks like it's a brand like IPO not too long ago. Shit.
I'm pulling it up now.
Yeah, I think it came out in actually 2021. 2 days maybe. I think it's been out.
It was actually in December of 2020.
Okay, yeah, 12/16-ish. You're saying 12/15, 12/14.
It looks like 12/13 was the first date, or 12/12. Yeah, 12/11. I'm sorry.
12/13 did the usual IPO signature move where it was extremely hyped up and everybody bought it at the top, and then all the people that had the shares that were given that it was very low price.
Yeah.
Because they're probably important, sold it, took their profits, and then did the usual sell off, and then pumped up one more time, failed to break IPO price, and now we're crashing down below. Like, we've already broke the 50% retracement level, closed below it. It's going to like, what's that next level? Just trying to look at it. It's a bio company. I mean, I don't know. You have to watch it, see if it goes back down to that 36.27 range. Because if it hits a 36.27 range on that bottom that it hit on January 12th, it could bounce off or it could blow right through it and then get ugly real fast. But
yeah,
that's why like trading IPOs is just like you got to be quick on that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's trying to play those. Holy fuck! Shut up, man. Everyone's trying to play those IPOs like the day they come out, and you know it's the same thing with pretty much every IPO. It takes forever for them to actually start doing something.
Yeah. And you got to give them that time to kind of settle down to start actually identifying where the support's going to be in it in the long term and stuff like that. And trade.
Yeah, let them get a few earnings under their belt. So
yeah.
Kind of
Right, the fundamentals behind the business. Tech trading. What's your price average on this? I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm gonna tag you just to be sure, or if he's even in the trade. That I think that determines everything is where your price average is with any trade review you're requesting. So if anybody that is currently, I mean, it's only a few of us in here. We're just talking stocks, so it's no big deal. But you know, if you ever join the live stream in the future and you want us to review a trade, please be sure to at least let us know your price average up front, so we can go ahead and have that in mind going into the review.
Yeah, I'm drawing fibs on this right now. I mean, it ain't nothing crazy, but the 50% was where it got rejected off of at 54.10 after that initial the initial IPO, then the sell-off down to 36.27, the bottom. It bounced off, tried to go back up and test the 50, which is a massive support and resistance level for any stock. It could not close over. It went over the price but closed under. And then once that happened, it signified reversal, and it hasn't came back since. It actually just closed below the 44.70 mark, which is the 23.6% retracement. So honestly, once it's broken that level, the only way it's going to 36.27 again within the next few days.
Yeah.
I'd say the next maybe week you're going to see it down there at 36.27. It's either going to bounce off that level again and maybe try to hit the 50 again, but you know, you could play off the 50 with every like SPY crash you've ever saw. It does this every time. It'll go below the 50 for a second, bounce up, and either breaks the 50 going upwards or bounces off the 50 going downwards, signaling you're still in a bearish trend. The bullish trend was when it went from 36 to 54.10. It got rejected, and now you're going back in the other direction. So
here, let's look at it. Let's look at it from the 1 hour. Actually, that'll kind of identify. Okay.
I'm looking at it from the daily right now.
All right, I'm looking at it from the 1 hour. Those 44.70 levels you're right on that. If you're looking at it from the fib retrace, being the 50% level, that is a very key level of support, and it did break below that. It closed that Thursday at 46, right above it, but I agree with you. It's going to retest the 36.27. And just for you guys watching, like how we identify how a stock's going to trade here, at least, is based on the price ranges. So agreeing with you, Dylan, it's going to retest those 36s. I would look for it to find support there. If it doesn't, then it could actually go lower. But it's going to retest that 44. That 44.72 is eventually going to become a level of resistance now.
Yeah, so that's what
Before
fibs. A lot of people don't really look at the fibs, but like fibs are just they're lines that every trader and every like trading algo bot respects.
Right.
And once you've broken, like, the 54.10 was the 50. That's the halfway point. That's huge.
Yeah.
And you get rejected off that, like, I'd say, honestly, if it comes down to the 36.27 market again, and I'd say $36 the whole number. But
yeah.
It's never been that low. But, I mean, every whole number in the market acts as it's like a psychological point. So you'll always see resistance because people put their limit orders, their stop losses, and it's usually not on the whole number itself. Like, so let's say for a stock that's going up to maybe break $40,
right?
Usually around 39, like 97, 39.95, 39.98, you'll see a lot of resistance, and then you'll also see an extra resistance at the $40 range because people are trying to get out early to make sure their positions get filled.
Yeah.
Or early exit to take their profits. But
yeah.
In every stock, especially these small penny stocks, like the dollars are like mountains.
Right.
You see with SNDL, you see that one's huge. Dollars are just like mountains, man.
Right. So, going in to clear this up, because Pascal Champagne actually added another stock he wants to look at. But going into this tech trading, we could be retesting the $37 or $36 price range before we go back to retest the 44, and then we're going to have to find some strong momentum to break through that 44 to start trading between the $44 to $54 price range moving forward. So he has a $42 price average on the stock right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so that's he's safe for now, but just hope that pre-market doesn't open up on you and it's slaughtered. We have a heavy gap down before you can catch it. I would look for a better re-entry if this was my trade at those lower price levels, and then let it soar, because it seems like the 37 it is pretty strong. It retested it twice and bounced off of it. So let's look at GDMP. Oh, $52 is his price average. Don't have much, only 50 shares. Maybe time to get out at break even. 52.
I'm looking at GDMP while you're talking about that.
$52 is pretty high, man. That's in the top price range there. So be careful.
Man, here's the thing I got for tech trades, man. Nobody wants to sell for a loss.
Yeah.
But if your portfolio is big, man, you don't really have to worry about it. I mean, it's pretty much the way I look at it. When I gotta cut losses is when I'm like laying in bed at night, like thinking about, is this shit keeping you up at night? Because if it is, I mean, hell, dude, you could sell. You're probably gonna take $200. You said you got 20 shares, and it's at what? I can't remember the price was at. You're probably taking about $200 loss. Yeah. But if your portfolio is big, man, $200 should come to you in 5 minutes. Like, it's especially if you sit down there and you wait for it, because you see the direction the stock's heading. Like, you might have a day, like Monday might be a good day. Usually long days are, or long weekends return like pretty good Mondays and Tuesdays. So you might see like a little catch, but ultimately it has too many levels to go through. So I mean, I feel like it's still going to come down and test those 36s. So if you want to maybe get back in at like 36.10, probably can get that before you're going to, get back up to your level. I'm looking at GDMP right now. I don't know what the stock is, so I'm not going to really get too far into what it's about. It looks like a little penny stock sitting at, it closed at I'm trying to see. Closed at 16:30 on the trading day. I'm not exactly sure about the after hours. It's in a definite uptrend. It's been in an uptrend since let's look, about December, November. Started in October of last year. Started at like 12 cents, and now we're sitting at the 16. Well, $1.65 ish was the high on the Friday. I mean, let's see. Let me look and see if the.
I'm looking at it right now. I don't know if you can see it on my screen or
I was
if you're looking at
it on
something
my
else.
phone because I can't really see the levels. But it's, to me, this stock is still bullish. I mean, it's a little parabolic and kind of scary, but I
Yeah.
mean, it did close over the bar that it was. So it looks like. Hold
138.
on, look.
138 was a key level of resistance here.
Yeah.
And I'll identify another one that's standing out to me too, where it became
159, like 160. $1.60 was a big one.
yeah,
You see that big candle that just has a long wick up,
yeah,
and the body's at the bottom, and you see the reversal candle.
yep,
But then you see it reject the price off the AMA and then shoot up. And this is on the daily. I look at it, and it closed over the $1.60 range, and it's currently sitting at $1.63. So it did close over the previous high.
yeah.
So still bullish.
I'm looking at it on the daily too. Going into the 1 hour, a little bit more in depth. We can keep it on the daily because it kind of defines your price ranges here. He says he has a 118 price average on it, so he caught it right
Yeah,
here.
so
Yeah,
he's in the money right now.
yeah, right. Just make sure you continue to find your support above the 138 right here. And moving forward, is what I would look for, and hopefully like eventually you can start seeing how I'm looking at these trades and finding my levels of support and resistance.
You wanna you got indicators on that TV, right? Can you throw on Ichimoku Cloud on?
How do you isn't that spelled like how do you spell that? I can't remember.
It just type in ICH
There it is.
Ichimoku Cloud. I just want to look at that. Let me get it pulled up. I can't explain.
Let me kill some of these other. Let me kill some of these other layers I got on here too. I use a lot of different indicators on my stuff, so I'm gonna keep the volume in there. Pull that one out.
Is that the Ichimoku Cloud right there? You already have on or no?
Yeah. I have it on now. I just put it on for you.
Okay. I can't really see it well because I can see it, but basically when you're looking at the Ichimoku Cloud, and I know this might seem like a bunch of shit if you're kind of new to trading, but Ichimoku Cloud is one of my favorite indicators to show if a stock's in an uptrend or a downtrend, and when to buy and when not to buy. So if you could flip this to the daily for me.
It's on the daily now.
Okay, where's the cloud?
Right here.
Is this the ABC? Can you hit the? There should be an auto button at the bottom of your TV. Just slap the auto button. It's like at the bottom under the price. It should say auto.
Yeah.
Can you click it?
I did.
Okay, hang on. I'm waiting on it to. The cloud looks weird as fuck on this right now.
Really? Yeah, I know it does. I don't know. Are the settings right? What are your settings on TD that you use?
Just basic Ichimoku. Like, I don't have anything done to it.
Yeah, right. Has a conversion line period of 9, baseline period of 26, and lagging span 2 period of 52 with a displacement of 26.
Yeah, if you got Discord, I'm gonna send you something. What's this the stock ticker?
GDNP.
GDNP.
GDNP. Gecko Delta Nancy Protocol. Are you sharing your screen or something?
No, I'm just it's a Canadian stock. Throwing it on the just kind of looking at this here. So
Let's see what he said. I can't find that on my broker. Is that OTC? Let me see.
So it's a Canadian.
Yeah, it's Canadian stock. It's on the TSX. uh, Tech trading. He said his price average is 118. So I mean, just to sum up the stock, I mean overall and its movement, I mean you're pretty safe right here. Once again, I want to reiterate, like, focus on the stock staying above these 138 levels. You're 20 cents up, depending upon how many shares do you have. It looks like Tech Trading found the symbol for it on the American Exchange. Yeah, he did.
I'm just looking at it on TradingView, trying to draw on it as best as I can without making this look crazy. Like what I like to see with the Ichimoku Cloud.
He has 15 million shares. Oh, Bank of Canada just bought 15 million shares. I was about to say, dude, you have 15 million shares and it's up 20 cents right now. I don't know what you're worried about. You're good to go. Good to go. He has 1,500 shares, so I mean you're still up pretty well. That's what, 118, 20 cents. Just off the top of my head, that's about 10% up, right? Is that right? Yeah. So you're 10% up. Should be up like 150 plus. Is that correct?
I'm putting this in your Discord DMs. I don't know if they can see it.
I can pull it over so they can.
It's gonna be a mobile fucking chart drawing, but I'll explain it.
Pull this out of there. Alright.
So GDNP, right? That's the one. So you'll see that I circled this top little squiggly green line right on the cloud.
Yeah.
It pokes out. It's over the price, right?
Right.
So that's your momentum. And what you want to look for when you're trading the cloud is you want the momentum line. I can't pronounce it because it's Japanese, but they call it the Jakal or something like that. But you want that line also to be above the cloud, which you see below the price.
The green, yeah, right here.
Yeah. So the cloud the price is over the cloud. The Jakal is also over the cloud, which in turn means that it is still in a bullish uptrend. But whenever the price and the Jakal go below the cloud or into the cloud, at that point you get out of the stock. Like it's just because at that point it's uncertainty, and you don't want to be in it. Like this is the clearest way to see if a stock's in an uptrend.
Yeah.
Like you just wait for the price and the Jakal to be above the actual cloud, and that's it. And once you see it go back into the cloud, that's how you trade the cloud. If you're playing Ichimoku Cloud in the stock and the price and the Jakal is above, you buy. If it's in the cloud, you do nothing. If it's below the cloud, you short. And that's
which is right here.
Below.
Yeah, I'm kind of like doing a pointer here so they can kind of see what areas we're talking about as we go.
Yeah, there you go. You got the cloud going pretty good right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see how the Jakal on yours is it's straight up. It came off the cloud, bounced back above it. It's running, but until it isn't.
Right.
So it's just using the cloud is just the best way to be like, okay, now I can see on a daily chart. I would like to use this on like an hourly or a minute chart. I'd like to just see this on the daily because sure you'll have some down days, but at the same time, like you get the overview of where we're going.
Right. I wonder why mine looks so strange on here versus yours. We're using the same settings. Is it the?
I'm looking at yours right now, and it looks pretty much the same.
Okay.
Or it looked like mine when I saw it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like default cloud setting, but it looks pretty good.
Got you. All right.
Man? We got 6 people in here now.
We got 6 people in here. Who else is in here with us?
I don't know. There's just 6 people on the stream. I see.
Yeah. Anybody got any other stocks they want to bring up? Tech Trading asks, so should we buy up Good Nature?
I'm not telling you to buy it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm giving you analysis.
Right.
This thing could go like tits up tomorrow,
Yeah. Let me do this.
This guy says, Michael Phelps says, I don't know the name of material, but companies that mine materials used for lithium batteries are becoming hot with the upcoming EV movement. I'm in NMGRF. It's OTC. I'm not sure if we analyze OTC. I mean, if we can look at the chart, we'll analyze it. I was thinking about lithium for a while, man. Lithium, somebody asked me what's the next move in the market. I said lithium like about a week ago.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
But lithium is the only way that they can keep making these batteries. And with Tesla and NIO and all these other companies trying to mass produce these EV vehicles, people are going to overlook it because they're just looking at what's hot. But if you want to make money over time, that lithium industry, man, they're going to boom if EV is actually, if the world wants to go green, you're going to need lithium. And you're going to need a lot of fucking lithium.
Yeah, agree. As far as my plays on the EV movement, everybody, I'm looking at what is it, BLNK. There's a company called Evogo, I think they call it, EVGO. Look for the company name. It's not even on the market yet, but it's talking about an IPO through a SPAC. Do some research on that. Those are two companies that provide charging stations. And just to add to this conversation real quick, if you think about it, Biden's moving forward to focus on replacing all American vehicles with EV vehicles, right? So that's 645,000 vehicles to accommodate for over a certain time frame. But you're also going to have the charging stations for all of these vehicles, and not just one. You know what I mean? So that is a good play.
And when we say like, see, I like where they're going about, the going green, and they got. But the thing is until you can make it, like, I love the fact, and it's a long-term plan. So if you want to run green energy forever, I mean, feel free. But like, I look at it from a logical standpoint, like the base, almost, like, I would say only like 15% of the American population can actually go out right now and buy an EV car if it was mandated. Yeah. Everyone else would just have no car.
Right.
So it's there, but it's got to be more appealing, or they have to make it like, if the government would give you like a benefit, or like cover some of your payment if you're buying an EV car. I don't know, but just EV is great, but of the long term of it happening in the next 4 years, I don't know about that one.
California already put it in place where they're not going to allow the sale of any gas emission type vehicles. I can't even think of the word.
Because California is one of the, like, California people can barely afford to live in a house, much less go buy a new vehicle.
Right.
So like, people are just going to be homeless because they can't get jobs due to them putting that in place.
Right. Why are my? Let me see. Let me pull this over a little bit more so I can see what you're saying. Forkin Citron. Oh, Citron killed me on my calls for BLNK. Should have been an easy win, and those bastards killed it a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. I made some money on BLNK the same week that GameStop and AMC were going out. I think was when Biden initially announced that he was going to be pushing the EV play. I made some good calls off of it, and as soon as I got out, it seemed like it went down, and I was looking for a re-entry on some more calls moving forward. That's a strategy I also want to share with people is that I'm going to be testing, and I'm going to try to record it as much as possible to share with everybody to see how it works. But I'm looking at making calls for companies that I want to hold longer term equity stakes in, to basically get free shares from all of the calls that I make. So that's something we're going to be doing in the future. If you want to keep track with how it works with the strategy alone, then I'll create like a second channel and playlist to share with everybody, so they can keep up with the updates. I just got to figure out how I'm going to lay that out separate from what we're already doing. To get into Mike Phelps stock, we have NMGRF. It's currently trading at $2. It looks like an OTC stock. It's not even listed yet, but the fact that it's above $1, I believe, is the minimum to be listed on either the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, if that's right. But one thing before I even get into this analysis of the stock chart, I always look at a stock, regardless of if I'm going to be viewing it from the day or the 1 hour. A lot of my plays are based off the 1 hour, but the day kind of confirms the momentum overall over a longer period of time, and the 1 hour lets me know how it's moving within those days. But I always start with the 4 hour to identify my key levels. Key levels being the levels of resistance and support. So looking at this particular chart here, I'm on the 4 hour time frame. Um,
Hey,
and
Tim,
yeah,
I'm popping out for a little bit.
yeah, you're fine, man. Keep talking with these guys a little bit more. But looking at this chart, that's how I'm gonna move forward with identifying my levels here, and levels being my support levels for one, and my resistance levels, because that matters more than anything else to me. So I'm gonna put my levels of support in green and my levels of resistance in red for you guys, so we can see how the stock trades between them. And give it a little bit more visual. When you find a level of support like this, I always go with the first one that existed. And just because the stock went down, this is what you're wanting to look for, right? So we found a level of support here. It gapped up the following day. It came down, and sometimes people freak out because it's going, oh my gosh, it's going below the level of support. But then you see it was short-lived and it bounced right back above it. It rejected falling below it, and we were able to find strong support in that area. If you were to apply the intraday bar, oh yeah, all my stuff is hidden right now. Let me pull that out, and I'm sorry that this kind of clouds up the chart for you, but there's certain things that I'm used to looking at that help me identify things with this, so that's why I'm going to include it, and I want to point that out to you as well. Matter of fact, I don't even need this, I don't think. Yeah, it's more visual. Anyways, getting back to my point, with this particular stock, let me do this so you can separate the two. When we found that support, we had large selling volume spike right here. But as we found that support level again, it was trying to go down, but they brought in the support and brought it back up. And this is on a 4-hour time frame. So then you start seeing the buying volume pick back up, and it goes back in on pace of where it was before. Okay? So I just want to point that out to you guys. And that's whatever trade you're looking at getting in, make sure you identify your levels first. And identifying your levels lets you know what price range you're trading in. You see how we're in this channel sideways here. We're trading within this price range. We rode throughout November. We broke through this level of resistance. I'm pretty sure, which could be identified in a later time frame, back in time. It broke out here above the 44 cent, found resistance at the 75 cents, and then it traded sideways between those two price points until it retested that 75 cents, and then you see, boom, it tried to break out, had a strong wick selling volume right here, as you can see, or buying volume right here, as you can see, I'm sorry, and then they tried to sell off, but then the buying volume spiked again and brought it back up, and bam, we're at 117. We actually found some resistance here at the 117 because it broke out, came back down, and then as it re-hit those levels of resistance again, it broke back up to the same level of resistance where it broke out initially. So hopefully this is kind of helping you identify how the trade's moving throughout time. It's, once again, we see in the same pattern here where we're trading sideways through that time frame. We're trading sideways through this time frame, and when it tries that same level of resistance for the third time, and boom, we break out again. And now we're up to the $2 price ranges. So this is how you need to analyze stocks, right? So once again, breakout in this time frame, breaks up a little bit, but that resistance is strong as identified by this second candle. And we're probably going to go back to 145 here before it's able to continue moving. One thing you really want to pay attention to is the volume as it's going into the trade. Once we hit the 145, now there's another thing I want to identify here too, is what I call a resistance to support reversal. Okay, so this previous line right here was our level of resistance. I'm expecting it, because there was so much resistance in it, it took 3 times to break through that level of resistance. I'm expecting it to reverse and become a level of support in the future. So yes, this stock might pull back, and it looks like it's going to. It may pull back to the 145. People might be freaking out thinking that it's going to come down, but what you want to watch for is if it retests that level of resistance as a level of support. It might go down a few cents below it, but what we're going to look for before we sell out of it and allowing it to continue to grow for us is for it to find that support and bounce back up. So a lot of people get into trades late because they're chasing them without knowing their key levels. And then a lot of other people have sold too early because they start panic selling because they see a large drop. Large drops are fine. It's called a pullback, it's called correction, and it's called consolidation, which is great. It's healthy for the stock to allow it to continue moving higher. I want to point that out to everybody. That's how I place all of my trades. We can look at some of my trades here next. I have to look at UMC for tech trading if he's still here. If you can let me know you're still here in the chat, please do. And I'll look at that stock for you. I know this kind of took a little bit longer, but I wanted to take the time to kind of give a lesson of how we're looking at these trades and making our buying decisions and making our exit strategies. And that's an exit strategy in itself. So yes, Pascal, 145 would be a great entry in this case, as long as we find that support. If it goes below that level, okay, then we start looking for that support to kick it back above it. And if it does kick back above that 145 level, then we would find an entry there for sure. But worst case scenario, we can see this dropping back to the 117 where we already have identified strong existing support. And then if it breaks below that, then the stock is completely breaking down. We don't even want to position in it. That would be my theory. That's my suggestion and how I would trade the stock. All right. But yeah, I just wanted to, share with you guys that may have trouble finding entries and having an actual exit strategy, excuse me. That's something I've been challenged with over the past year. Michael Phelps actually worked with me initially on getting Millennial investments together and our trading strategies, and he already knows, like, we used to be gunslingers on just going after stocks without even having an exit strategy. Just going in there, and we'd make a lot of money. Crazy amounts of money in a day's time. Like, wake up sometime and we're up $2,000-$3,000, and it's crazy. Now, since that time, it's been well over a year since that time frame, and the amount of knowledge that I've picked up just from constantly studying trend analysis. And then you study trend analysis more so for the side of swing trading, while you yeah, the secret's out. I told the secrets. I have no secrets here. I'm very transparent in what I'm trying to do here. But anyways, man, you'll always be fan bro for that. Back to it though. Trend analysis is great for swing trading. Swing trading being 20 to 30 days in the time frame, sometimes 2 to 3 months. Long term, use the fundamentals of the company and use the trend analysis to find the best entry points. Just to point that out as well. But I would, as far as an entry, look for support above the 145. If it falls below that, make sure we confirm support at the 117 before we move higher. Now let's move to the next trade real quick. Yeah, right. It's so addicted to stocks at that point, man. It became addictive. Yeah, you're right. He said, ignoring our full-time business to look at stocks. Yeah,
Evan?
it was bad. Yeah. What's up, babe?
Hey, where do you want me to put this?
Just put it over here.
That's in the officers.
Okay. All right, guys. Looking at UMC real quick. Once again, we're gonna start it from the 4-hour. We're gonna first come in here. Let me hide everything so we can see what we need to see. Let me reset the chart so it can be properly set. Always look in the middle of a chart when I start. Another note I'd like to add. I always start with the last support level to identify it. And it was confirmed by this one. This was our last peak here. So that's a level of resistance. And once again, we find another level of resistance here. Now, you can sit here and add another line for support. I'm not going to do it. Because really you can turn this orange And the reason I say that is because it was once a level of support. Stock broke through it, came down below it a little bit, but then it became another level of resistance and found support and broke out. All right, we're at 1078 with this stock right now. Let me add this in here. I'm gonna add it in blue because that's a previously confirmed level of support. And I'm gonna show you why I'm color coordinating this now a little different. Because if the stock, what we're gonna look at first, answer this. Been in and out since 4. Okay, so what's your price average now, tech trading? Overall now. If you're at 4, then you're well above 100% and on your way to 200% on the trade, depending on your price average. Let me see what his price average is real quick. I see we have more viewers in here as well. Please drop your name and let me know who I'm talking to so I can address you properly as well. And also thank you for being here. Glad to get to do this. Check on the group. I wonder if that's Andre sitting there watching me in the background. Just sold the last at $10 or so. Okay, so what are you looking for? Maybe a re-entry in this? Is that what we're looking at? I'm considering getting back in again. Okay, all right, that's what I thought. Getting back in again. The stock closed below this top level of resistance. I'm pretty sure this might consolidate to the 956 as a pullback. Going into pre-market Monday. Market open, going into pre-market Monday, see how it's trading going into the morning. This could gap up because we're at a level of resistance, or it can just slowly consolidate back down to the 956. Yeah, re-entry. Okay. And consolidate to the 956. Now, what you would want this to do is consolidate back to these strong levels of 7083. Okay. And before, just because it hits it and bounces off, like, don't get into the trade just because it hits 783 as soon as you do. Make sure that it confirms a bounce off the support, or even if it goes below it. If it goes below it, then in that scenario, let's say, now you got me wanting to draw like arrows and stuff for you. So let's say we do something like this. We hit that, and we go a little bit below. Make sure it bounces back up above, okay? Let me add this to my favorite so I can use it later. Let's make sure we bounce back up above. Finding that support. Now, if we don't find that support, then we're going back to 518, and you could potentially find a great re-entry position on it. We are going to talk about VXRT. Yes, we will, most definitely. I'm more than happy to talk about it. But going into this, see if it finds support on 956 tech trading. If it doesn't, watch for the 783 price levels. That's another key level of support. And then also keep in mind, you can also have a support to resistance reversal as well. So the stock can come down here like we see. And try to bounce back above it, and it finds resistance, and then that allows it to come back down. If that works, that works in your favor, because you can find a better re-entry on it. Now, what I'm looking at is the option trading on this. You can buy options on this, and if you do buy options on it, then you can buy a put. If we open up pre-market, be ready market open to potentially buy a put to make cash on the way down, right? To then put those profits into the trade, and now you have free shares of it. Just an idea. Let me get some lighting. I just figured out I was in the dark for you guys, but you can find some free shares on a put option on this. At least from the 10 to the 7. Look for that idea, that strategy. Get a put option on it from the 10 to the 7. Let it bounce off the support sell your put option, re-enter if it finds support above the 783 to show a reversal signal. And that's at least 2 to 3 buying candles on the reversal off of that 783. Now you have, however, let's see, if you bought a 19 March $10 put, you're paying $65 a contract. You have a delta of $33 per contract. So you could potentially make, and that's every dollar. If this goes back to $7.50, that's $2.50. You can make an additional 100% on this trade. Close to 100% on the trade, if I'm doing my math right. Right? So, say I put $65 in it, it drops $2.50. Then I have 120 per share to put on it. And then drop that 120 on them. Or just strictly the profits. Let the profits make you more profits on the reversal. If it does break through the 783 and you go down to the 5, then you're up 250% just on the put along. Take those 250% profits and put that in there, and then take your initial investments out. Secure your initial investment risk. I want to add that too real quick. If you have a stock that jumps 100%, my best suggestion would be selling 50% of the position to take out your risk from your initial investment and allow your profits to continue making money to the upside. If that makes any sense. And a lot of people give me flack on that. But the reason I bring that up is because we're going to talk about VXRT. And it's going to be a perfect example of why I say that. And I alerted on VXRT before it ever blew up. And I want to show you, I'm going to verify that information of when I initially alerted on it. I'm going to show you what happened with the trade. And that was a disaster for some people. But we still came out, even after it dropped 54% in one day, we were still up 89% on our initial trade alert. So anyways, I gave you those key levels to watch for Monday. 956, doesn't find support. Going to 783. Potentially buying a put option on the trade in the $10 levels on the way down to the 783. Even if you bought it at 956, you still could make a $2 drop, 100% off on a put option here, potentially. Okay. Use those profits to buy a re-entry at 783. If it doesn't go below 956, don't buy the put. If it finds support there and continues higher, that might be your re-entry you want to look for. But make sure that you confirm at least 2 to 3 bars that it's going that direction before you do that. I got greedy that day at 23 and lost 100% the next morning. Yep. And I'm gonna use that as another example of how we trade here at Millennial Investments. I'm gonna show you some of the watch lists we have set up, and I'm gonna show you how we dissect our trades. 100% of profits. Okay, got you. Well, at least you didn't lose your initial investment. But I'm gonna show you how we trade. That's why I wanted to do this today. So let's move on to VXRT, because this was crazy. This is not the first time it's happening. As you can see, the stock hit 24.88 on COVID-19 news releases that were coming out, and then they released news that I think their efficacy rate was like 56%, and the stock just took excuse my French, took a shit. We initially alerted on, I don't even think we have the stock alert open anymore. We don't, and that sucks because I want to look at it. Oh, we do. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. We initially alerted on VXRT on January 14th. Stock was still at 683, or 680, I'm sorry. It looks like we had a price target for the 943 levels of resistance. The stock would continue to trade between the 943 and 1249 moving forward to provide an additional 30-40% on the trade. So let's start from scratch. I'm going to get rid of all of my drawings here. Or I'm going to hide them. I don't like getting rid of my drawings. I'm going to hide everything. And we're going to start from scratch. I might have to get rid of them. Anyways, so let's pull this up. Where are we at? Let's pull this up. January 14th. We're at 680. All right. Where we at? January 14th, 680 right here. And I think what I'll do with this one, I'll draw a horizontal line. 14, right there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get rid of these. So we're gonna do a full reanalysis of it in real time. Whoa, what are you doing? Zoom back out. All right, there we go. All right. How I was looking at the stock on the 14th, we had broke a key level of support here previously, and it was moving upward. We had these 2 wicks shortly after I pushed the alert throughout that day. I may have the time on this trade too. Let me see. Did it release the time? 12:12. So 12:12 in that day. Let's look at it on the 1 hour. Dante, what you doing, bro? 14, 12, 12. So this is when we alerted on it. As you can see, we had a price target of 943. I'm gonna identify that real quick. About right here. And that was based off of previous levels on the daily that were set. So if you go back in time, let's go back in time a little bit. Right there. Back in September, it set a 943 level of resistance. We were looking to retest that level. And as you can see, it broke straight through it, like in one day, on the 25th of January. From there, the stock consolidated. As you can see, we broke, consolidated heavy because it jumped so heavy. But it then found new support on the 863. Continued to bounce and retest those levels. Bounced back down, almost touched those new levels of support, and then broke out. Boom. We broke out to the 1347 price levels. Consolidated from that peak, and then gapped up and found support above that level of resistance, a resistance to support reversal. Then the stock kept gapping up. Boom. We're at 2488. We released a video this day, and as you can see in the trade alert right here, this was on the 3rd when the stock was still up. Oh no, it got rid of our previous alert. Maybe I can look it up in our Gmail. Let me see. This is how I'm gonna do this, because I wanna verify that we were pushing this information out. We have videos on it. You can find it on our YouTube channel here that you're watching. Look at our daily trade reviews and search up VXRT, and you'll see all of our trade updates. That's how I'll leave that. I'm not gonna go into all that detail. But we went into this day expecting that the stock was going to have some major pull back. I think it was right around this area to the 1924s is what we thought the stock was going to come back to. It tried to consolidate here going into pre-market on the 2nd. Opened up the market. People saw that as a BTFD, by the fucking dip, whatever you want to call it, by the dip, and they did that, and they did that strong. It broke out to the 2488 levels, and then we found some strong resistance right here. Now, this morning of the 3rd, pre-market, that's when the company announced, I think it was like right here at 6, they announced that they had worse than expected results on their COVID-19 vaccine candidate. And it only provided 56% efficacy versus, I believe, the projected was at least 85%, if my memory serves me correct. But the stock then drops 54% within the matter of 1 hour. 1 hour gone. 50%. Ended the day 58% that day. I remember it. But one thing I want to point out is, look where it landed. Our initial level of resistance at the 943. It bounced again. One thing you have to one thing you have to realize is that people will see this gap up and the price action moving upward, but it's coming down. And I kept saying that, and I had some people give me flack on Twitter like, this is not dead, and try to give me a full explanation of it and everything. And like, I'm like, dude, this was not the first time VXRT did this to me personally, trading. So to see it do it again, it was like, knew that. When I initially alerted on the stock, I was like, man, I don't like it, but it's a nice setup. And sometimes it takes more than one lesson. You're right. And VXRT is ready to serve you with lessons. But one thing I want to point out is VXRT was actually up. Let me see if I can pull it up in the email we pushed out to everybody. VXRT trade alert. This was on the 12th. No. Let's see. I still have people talking about this is $100 stock, bro. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to believe. Let's see here. This is January. It's February 3rd. So this is shortly after everything happened. That there's a trade. We were up 266%. You were in the first crash too. Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, we were up 266% on this trade. How I would have played that trade is at 100%, so half your position. So everything, you got to think about it. You're up 100% of what you put in there. So if you have $100, the stock's up 100%, you now have $200. Take your initial $100 out of the trade and allow the other $100 to continue making money with a stop loss of 5%. 5% stop loss with a suggested 10% selling threshold. So that means 5% of 100 would be $95, right? Wherever that fits in your profits on the price level of the stock. That's $5 of your $100. Have a stop loss ready. It's not going to necessarily sell at that, but if it goes to 10%, be ready to sell, right? But if it doesn't go there, then it can only go up, right? And you can continue making this money. You would have made another 166% off that $100 in profit that you made off your initial trade while securing your initial investment and removing all risk from that. So even as a new trader coming into the market and they drop $100 out of their pocket right then on a stock and they make 100%, they can pull that $100 out and put it back in their pocket and allow the other $100 to continue moving forward for them. And then they would have made another 166% on this trade. Now, it's kind of hard to catch a crash like this with VXRT. We did let people know that we were coming back to the 1925, but we didn't think we were going down 54% in 1 hour. And we let people know that in order to be prepared to say, hey, this was a previous level of resistance. It will become our new level of support. If it does not match that criteria, get out of the trade. You would have came down almost $4 exactly. Which $4, that's almost a sixth. So whatever that is, it's almost like you would have been down 12% in your trade. To sell if it went below 1925. And you still would have been up 146%. Or 140 odd percent on the 100% profits you made initially. So you could have took the second $100 you got out and put that in your pocket and kept going, or split it. Take another 50 out and leave the other 50 in with the other $140 you've gained. Keep trading. But I got a lot of flack on that from Sandal. SNDL. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about T-Ray. We're going to point these out for not the fact that all this talk is behind them. It's the fact that all this talk is behind them. I just had somebody in our group chat on Facebook talk about how they lost so much money to, I think, TL-Ray, wheat stocks in general. It's because they probably caught the trade somewhere in here, man. I think we alerted on TL-Ray. TLRY. No, we didn't. But we did alert on Sandal. and I want to bring this up too because it's the same scenario. We alerted on Sandal back December 22nd is when we alerted on it. Let's look at it. Let me do this. We alerted on it back in December 22nd. Let me go to my 4 hour. I already have my time, my levels of resistance pointed out, but we're gonna go in here. Look at this. We alerted on it when it didn't even have any traction, man. It's dead. And I still alerted. I still push this. Not because I have some crazy faith in the company, but because the criteria fit the trades. Okay? And the stock was at, I think, 6.52 cents a share when we initially alerted. That's what you can see right here. Went into January. We bounced up. 78 cents. Just 78 cents. So we're already up 30 cents right here, and that's well over 50% on the trade. And then all of a sudden, January comes through. This was that time frame when the short squeeze movement started happening. And when this happens, you have a lot of people following these large social media groups, which only causes more volatility in the stock. Sean, are you talking about word to us alerting on Sandal back on December 22nd? Because if that is the case, yes, we did. We did. A lot of people don't believe it, but I got the proof to show them. December 22nd, the time was off because we were just building a new system for our trade alert system. But if we want to go back and verify my trades, I never have a concern doing that. Let's see when we initially, what did I say, December 22nd? Boom. This is when we were using the old system. Because I can tell by the email. SNDL is currently working a complete consolidation from 60 cents. A 60-cent breakout after the company ended up paying off debt, making the company debt-free. The stock was up 25% week over week and was currently trading in a rising wedge. We believed it would retest 60 cents again and continue to push higher towards 78 cents based on the continuation pattern that is attempting to form. Exact words, December 22nd. Continuation pattern, 78 cents. Like on the mark with this one. Consolidated. Didn't sell it. Didn't tell anybody to sell it. Said hold it. You want to know why? Because it was at 52 cents when we pushed it. It dropped just a few cents below that and continued to find support and came back up. Of course, this is on the daily, so you can't really see those time frames. We can go in more depth on the time frames to show you how it moved and you to better understand how it traded. But anyways, came into February. The short squeeze movement started occurring. A lot of people started coming into these stocks. And it kills me. Because you have all these people FOMOing, or as they call it, or, everything's going to the moon, basically, is how I put it. And even at this point right here, we're at 100%. That's on February 1st of the month, this month, not even, 12 days ago. Sell 50% of the position, secure initial investment, allow the rest of your money to continue making you money, and know your key levels. As you can see right here, here's a key level. February 1st, it gaps up on me. I'm selling half my position. We found support above the resistance levels I now have identified, knowing that my money will continue moving higher as long as we don't break this key level. That also ensures I won't lose my profits. Anyways, moved higher, boom, boom, boom. If you do the math real quick, 396, I think it was higher than that. Let me go look. 486 was its peak. Man, we're up 830%. I can do the math for you real quick. Let's see. Let's pull out some good old spreadsheet and make this pretty simple. I already got one pulled up for you. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm live streaming right now, but I'll be done in a second. I'm doing my last stock review. So we hit 486 on the top. That provided us with a 835% trade, bro. And each time you could have secured your profits by selling it. Every time it hit 100%, sell half the position. You know, everybody's focused on getting rich, but nobody's playing it smart. You gotta play smart, man. Gotta play it smart. FOMO and casino behaviors almost force you to do the 50-50 strategy. Or it doesn't have to be a casino. A lot of people make trades based on what other people are talking about, not their own knowledge, not their own research. I mean, you can look at it from two different ways. There's a technical analysis and there's a fundamental analysis. SNDL is actually better than TLRY on a fundamental basis. They're actually performing better year over year. Yet TLRY hit $70. I actually alerted on TLRY ahead of this movement too, I believe. And I had to go back into my emails because I closed the trade too early. It's my own fault. But liquidity stock alert on December 18th when the stock was still sitting at 902. Potential price $22.95. With an $8.62 stop loss. So I'm looking at these stocks before they even move. That's what I search for. And I could potentially. What do you need help with? All right, I'm gonna have to wrap this up real quick. I'm gonna show you some quick trade setups. Y'all give me 1 second before I do. Yeah. You need me to open it? I'll be done in a second. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry. Coffee stock on Saturday is a good idea. It's chill and it's less annoying than most hype YouTube channel. That's another thing too, man. There's a YouTuber that I was supposed to be working with, just to add to this conversation real quick, that I was supposed to be working with. That's actually supposed to be sitting right here reviewing our trade alerts. And he was like, no, I'm not trying to do any website or whatever. And he just didn't like the movement that we were having at Millennial Investments. That's his honest opinion. I'm not holding that against him or whatever. But he just said that this way wouldn't work, that we're doing it now. And I watch his videos now, and it's like this. Hi, guys, how are you doing? And you can't even hear what he's saying, man. I mean, the dude's growing. He has 4K subscribers. I only have 100. Who am I to talk, blah, blah, blah. But my whole point in saying this is that I like thorough analysis. I like a nice conversation. I like actually going through the details rather than like, choo, 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 choo. I'm not a very, I'm not a very good person for TV, but I will break some stuff down for you. Let's look and let me move this over here real quick. I think it's actually gonna pop up on my left screen. But yeah, I actually was looking at doing coffee and stocks every pre-market morning. Just doing some videos. I don't know about a live stream. I might do live stream. This actually turned out well. But you know, if you guys are wanting to do this, that's fine with me. We can spend like 30 minutes before pre-market starts and kind of look at some potential opportunities coming into the day. And then, you know, watching them, making sure we're hitting our key levels of resistance and stuff like that, so on and so forth. I spend a lot of my time developing the platform that we use now here at Millennial Investments. If you don't already have a membership, feel free to join the investor network, man. That we're building this because of things like Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, having all this censorship that they're trying to play a part on with everybody. Like just yesterday, my Facebook account was deactivated for posting in my own groups. I'm getting off on a tangent, but you know, that's what we're trying to build at Millennial Investments. I want everybody to know that. I want a safe community for everybody. I want a place to learn and a place to make money together with authentic trades. Not all this hype stuff that's going around. And what you got to think about with this hype stuff is that pretty sure the people that are hyping it up are only doing that because they know they have a better position than everybody else, and they want everybody else to drive the price up. And at some point, they're out of it before it even peaks. Leaving a 1,000 to 1,000,000 different people holding bags at high price levels that will never reach again because some of these companies aren't even. When's the last time you saw somebody go to the movies? So you tell me why AMC jumps from $4 to 28 or 25, wherever it peaked. I mean, it's just not fundamentally correct. Doesn't make any sense. But anyways, I wanted to look at some watch lists that I pay attention to. I have a tracking system that it's a scanning system, of course, but it doesn't push my trade alerts. I manually push out my trade alerts. But I want to show you the setups that I'm looking at. That's what it does. It finds my setups for me. So I can get straight to those trades, look at them, confirm them, do my trend analysis like we've been doing here today, and going from there. So here's a few trades that it brought to our attention here. Right here you have KMI, DSS, which we alerted on yesterday, DB, ENIC, VS, PATI, and then it looks like this may be an OTC stock. Or no, it's $10. But ATRTX. But let's start from the top real quick. And this will be the last segment of this. I've been going on and ranting for the last hour. I didn't think anybody was actually going to come to this, but I'm glad to have you guys. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, subscribe, share. Whatever you can do to support the community is greatly appreciated. It makes me take pride in what we're doing here and the fact that people support it. So get straight into this trade. I'm going to look at this from the daily. Now, I have a lot of indicators on here that you might not understand or use at all. So it might look like a blur to you, but I have things that stick out to me through all this chaos that you may call it. So let's pull up all my indicators back up real quick. And then we'll get straight to analyzing the trade. I don't use Ichimoku Cloud, but the fact that Dylan's brought it to our attention, I will like to start using it to include it in my analysis. I didn't use this intra-bar volume before, but it really started confirming things to me. This is what my charts used to look like, and I want you to understand the setup that we're looking at here. You know, looking at it from a daily, you can set your key levels here too, where we're dropping it here. That's a key level support for this time frame. Here's another one down here. So I know that in this trade alone, if we break below 375, I at least have another support level at the 1347. Let me make sure I'm not talking myself. Oh, okay. I made my money on ANC and ran. Smart man. Quit trying to get rich in a day's time. The only time that happens is when somebody hits the lotto, and normally it's only one person that does that. But looking at this trade with KMI, I would probably push this alert because with my trades at Millennial Investments, what we focus on is a 10 to 20% minimum on the swing trade. You can't really argue or complain about that. The reason being is because most trades move 5 to 10% every day, whether up or down on average. So anything above 10 to 20% is a nice swing. And a 10 to 20% on a low valued stock with a lower price point is easier to buy more shares. So 10 to 20% can actually become more substantial. We typically focus on anything 25 cents up to $20 to $25 on our trades. Now that we're getting into sharing our weekly options, that's going to be 25 cents and up. Hey man, how you doing? SA, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here. Glad you joined us. Just watched your video on SOS. You have some questions on SOS? While he's typing out his questions, I'm going to keep going with my thought before I lose it. So we focus on a 10 to 20% minimum price target or profit gain. And as you can see, I can go down this list. Let's look at my trade alerts. Let's look at where we're at in my trades. Watch this level right here. This is our alert percent change. This is the percent change from the time we alerted the stock to where it's currently sitting at market price. Okay. Can you tell me more about how pricing will play out next week okay, I will as soon as I'm done with this. So these are our current trade alerts, and they go all the way back to November 30th. I normally don't keep them open longer than 20 to 30 days unless they're performing. But we're sliding down. We're sliding down. Most of these are above. These are the top 25. Let me open all of them. We have 82 trades open right now. And as you can see, I think only 15 of them. Here, I'll zoom in for you. Mind you, this is the alert change. Look at these profit gains, man. And it's all based off this. I'm nobody special. I'm just somebody that studies my trades, man. Know my risk, manage my risk well, and know when to get in and when to get out. Now, you start seeing we're going into the red here. Top 3 red. This 23 negative 23% was naked. I actually did an alert on naked at like 189, and it's been slaughtering me. It actually came back above that this week, but continued to drop lower because, I mean, that's what happens when you bring in a million people into one trade that don't know what they're doing. They're just following somebody's command, man. They're not studying the trade. They're not knowing their levels of resistance. And so once it goes below a certain price point, they just freak. They just panic sell. I'm actually looking to close VYGR. I'm actually seeing some strong support on it going into Monday, and RMO. Same there. I actually have strong faith. RMO is actually a lithium battery manufacturer that was founded by Tesla, Amazon, and Samsung. And I think it's a hidden gem. It's a free trade alert that we shared this week on the 10th. I advise everybody to look into it. Make sure you do your own research and you know, make your own determination. I'm not telling you to buy it right now, but look at it. It's a nice one. And although it's 10% down, like, I haven't closed it. Keep in mind, 10% is our sell threshold. 5% is our suggested stop loss to maximize risk. But 10% is, we don't really go below that. And even if this trade did, I think I would hold on to it. Anyways, but that's our trade alerts, man. I mean, this system, we've back tested this system for almost 6 months, and we've optimized it. And the losses that we have taken in this system do not even touch one of our top gainers combined. One of our combined. We have 15 alerts out of 82 that are in the red, and only 4 of them below our suggested stop loss. Tech trading, I think, let's look at it real quick because people are showing interest in it. Oh, righty, RMO. Let's look at it from the 4 hour. I actually pulled the Fibonacci out on this one. RMO. We're below some key levels here, as you can see. I set a key level at 1777. We're below some key levels. These green waves and these red waves, these help me identify my EMA crossovers. So when I initially alerted on this stock on the 10th, I was expecting this to bounce back up. And I actually did it based on the 1 hour too. I based my trades off the 1 hour. So as you can see here on the 10th, we were showing momentum to the upside, but it broke down. And the reason it broke down so hard is because it broke that level of resistance that I pointed out. As soon as it did that, it just dropped out. But, of course, we found support here. I'm not sure what your price average is. If you want to state that in the comments below, and I don't get to my determination based off of your price, or my recommendation, rather, based off your price average, then I will add it in the comments below. But 1711 was a key level. I can't remember why I did it off the 1777. I think I based it off of a previous level of resistance right here in this area. Is where we get that 1777. And just like I said before, it dropped below that, but it hit the 200 SMA, which is this purple line, and it bounced back up above those levels. And then we retested it again, and it broke through. But one thing I want to point out about the trade is now a key level to watch, $18 at 300 shares. Okay, you're down $1.40. Yeah. At 300 shares. Okay. Going into this 1 hour time frame, I think I just saw it a minute ago, is the fact that if you look at it from the 1 hour and start your levels here, then you see that we're having a support to resistance reversal here at the 1711. So we got to make it above the 17.11 before we can continue moving higher. If it goes below $16, man, you already know the drill. Protect your losses. I mean, the stop loss on this was when we alerted on it. Let's see what our stop loss was on RMO. I just don't think people are very aware of what this company. I mean, long-term growth, the company's up EPS 100% year over year. I mean, fundamentals look great on it. We have a price target of 23.15 for 20% trade. Our stop loss is 17.60. But we had faith in it longer term, that we knew it would perform. We thought it would perform shorter term. So I mean, we're already $1 below our own suggested stop loss, and then up. Yeah, but this company will be back up, and I think worth holding long term. Maybe going to my Webull account for holding. Yeah, man, I agree. I have faith in it based on the fundamentals. So it's a fundamental trade with technical analysis that was indicating that it was going up. And this happens all the time. Like, it's not like all of our alerts are just like boom straight up. Like, we go through some things before it happens. So keep an eye on that moving forward is what I would look for. Let's break above the 17.11, find support above the 17.11, and then we might see some price action like this right here, where we jump $2. If it jumps $2, your next level of resistance is actually the $18 price level where your price average is. So if we break above 17.11, I'll see us retesting $18 before we can move forward to the next level of resistance that existed already around the 1950. So then, look at it from that standpoint. You can, for going into trades like this, I'm looking at 20 to 30 days. So I'm going to initially set my alerts up based off of a daily time frame. And then when I'm looking for my entry, I break down into the 4 hour. And then when I'm actively trading it, I break down to the 1 hour to actually go through the process of entering the stock. And determining where the momentum swing is to confirm the entry is solid. So, I think I was gonna look at some of these stocks, but I've been going almost 2 hours on this. I was just testing this morning and seeing if it even worked, because I tried to do a coffee and stocks the other day and it didn't. I'm glad it did. I'm glad you guys joined. I wasn't expecting anybody to even be on here. So, it's more encouraging to continue doing this. Just talking about stocks over the weekend. This is the best time to do your research and be ready for the next trading week. So a lot of people might be enjoying themselves and partying and whatever. I'd rather be easing my mind with research and making sure I'm more comfortable going into the week, knowing what my strategy is. If you guys have any SA, you asked about SOS. That's what it was. Okay. Can you tell me more about how pricing would play out for next week? Let's see what our trajectory shows. That's what a lot of my stuff shows me too. Oh my. When did I alert on this? It's crazy when I see some of my alerts and they're just balling. Did I alert on that? Oh, no. I didn't alert on this. So I'm doing this new thing where I'm going on StockTwits, and StockTwits shows you the top trending stocks, not only by price action and percent gains, but by conversation. And with everybody not really doing too much research apparently into their stocks, I started doing trade reviews on them so that they at least had some type of guidance on it. So I guess that's where I found you, or where you found me rather, on SOS. Now, to determine price action going into SOS, I think I kind of laid it out in the video in a lot more detail, but I had stated that we need to find support above the 714, which, as you can see, we currently are. Now, let me pull some of my other indicators. All right, so this is what I'm looking at here. This is what I'm looking for. As you can see, going into the 12th on Friday, we saw some large attempts to have large selling volume here, but we had a strong buying spike here. That's that faded green back there that you can see above all the price action. And then we had some more buying volume to support that, which accommodates for this spike right here. I want to identify something else that a lot of traders are focused on are volume spikes. And identifying those spikes. So I'm sure somebody's scanner went off right here, and some algo said, okay, confirm the next move is buying versus selling, and I'm gonna buy heavy. And that's why you have this large, widespread price action here from $5 to 17.14, and within a matter of an hour. I mean, we can look at this from the 10-minute, going into Friday, and that's what we're looking at here. We see two strong candle wicks going into the market open. Well, we're well in. We're about 9 o'clock, first hour in, and we find support above the close, and it keeps trading up. I identified, I believe, in the video to watch for sell-off volume, which you can kind of see pick up here. It's swinging. So somebody said something to me before, that you got to look at stocks as a track meet. You know, there's gas in it. When you're running, you have to take a gasp of air before you can continue running stronger. And that's what you can see. There's gasp in even the buying volume and the sell volume here. But the selling didn't overtake buying. So this looks like, based on my EMAs, that we're gonna do something called a compression here. The stock's going to compress and build what a lot of people call a bull flag, which looks something like this if you've never seen one, to this degree. And as you can see, my horizontal price ranges plays a part in this too. So this is your bull flag. And this compression that I'm talking about is that you see this here. We're compressing going into the after hours. If we bring back in my indicators, we'll notice something here. Nothing but straight buying volume in the after hours. So this actually could gap up and break out, is what I mean by that. I would go back in a further time frame to see if the stock has been above these $7, $8 price ranges. And at that time, let's see, 880 was the next level of support, that resistance. Next level of resistance that we would look beyond the $17 price range is what I believe I said in the video. I'm most likely sure. Anything beyond that point, you're looking at the 995 with a support to resistance reversal. And then breaking above that, then we could see this hit $18 if we get above that. But it would most likely have another support issue, support to resistance reversal at the $16 as well. So, I hope that kind of answered your question on how I would look at it. Make sure we keep support above the 714 level of support now that has been established over the last 2 trading sessions. Or, well, let me confirm that. Was it 2 or 1 trading session? The last trading session. Make sure we stay above the 714. If we don't, we come back down to the 531. Depending on SA, while I'm talking, go ahead and give me your price action or price average and your share, your holds, your positions on the trade. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired from talking for 2 hours straight. no issue of y'all's, but and then I'll add the analysis based on your current situation. But stay above 714. If we do not, see if we stay above the close from Thursday at the 628. And if we do not, make sure we confirm that support is found on the 531. If you're not in the trade currently, then you could find a re-entry level at the 628. If the support's not there, then the 531. There has been strong support at the 531. As you can see, that's where the large buying volume wick spike came in. He entered at 7. Okay, so all right, 7. We want to stay above 7. We want to confirm that we do going into Monday. Hopefully, and I'm hoping that you do. But what you can start seeing here is that this is what we call a, this is my MACD compared to my volume flow indicator. And it's basically comparing the two. They're real close together and tight. So this actually could break down. I'm not recommending a sell, and I'm not suggesting that you're gonna lose a lot of money. But hopefully we stay above the 714 in your sake, with the position being at the $7. If it goes below $7, we're retesting the 628. So you might want to consider getting out of the position to find a lower entry point into it. Once it hits the 628, then we'll touch, and if it finds support, we'll retest the 714 again, and hopefully break out to that 880. If it doesn't hold above 628, then we're going back to 531. And then if we don't break out and find support at 531, we're going back to 395. So watch those key levels going into it to make sure you thought the stock might pop next week. I mean, it's set up for it, finding that strong support above these levels at the 714. That's key. And I mean, this is over 3-4 hours that we're finding this type of support. You look at it on a 10 minute, it only verifies that. See, let me hide some of this stuff so you can actually see it. But yeah, it only verifies that there. So, if you look at it with let me do this. This is something that I'm starting to integrate into my trade analysis. I know a lot of this may look like foreign language to some people, but like this is telling me so much. I determine my moves off the 1 hour, but I watch it on the 5 and 10 minute. And what I look for here is my MACD to volume flow gaps. I'll take time to do another video on that piece, because that's a lot more in depth. And for some reason, my volume profile isn't showing up here, so I'll have to go into that more depth later as well. But for now, watch those 714 levels, man. They are key. They are important for you. As you can see, we're having an ascending wedge, or no, descending wedge here, along the horizontal price action with the longer term trend in an uptrend. So you could initially do something like you could take this diagonal trend and simply clone it, and you will find this channel that it's trading within. Of course, all this stuff is on here and it's hard to see. I get that. Let me take it off for you. There you go. So we're at the bottom. You see it broke out a little bit, but it found support and bounced back up and kept trading higher. So you could potentially see this jump right back up to $8.80. But of course, man, that's why we're doing this. This, once again, for people who are just coming into this is coffee and stocks. I think we'll do this every weekend for sure, just for an hour or two. This went on for 2 hours. Invite your friends. Like, subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends if you would, so we can all sit down and talk. I'm going to look at setting up like a video call where people can call into it and actually talk on here if they feel like it. I know I'm going to bring Dylan in from, and Dylan and a guy named Norok that we work with. That's a part of the investors community. They basically lead the investors talk community on our Discord channel. If you want in on that, all of our links are in this description of this video. If you want to in on some of our trades that we're pushing, the link to our memberships is in the description. We have a free version, but it does not give you access to all of our trades. You get one trade a day, which we release on YouTube anyways. But adding, registering your free membership also allows you to add our new due diligence database, where we're all working collectively as a community to submit research on stocks. And then for our premium members, we have a trade tracker, which is what you're watching, which is this right here. This right here. This is the trade tracker, just my version of it. But our users have a trade tracker that they can use. And you threw me off with that comment. I should continue with YouTube so I can monetize. That is the goal here. I want to allow Millennial Investments to be a completely free platform, but if I'm going to spend all day managing, developing, promoting it, helping customers with any issues, and then doing trading, then that's why I have paid memberships, because it consumes all of my time to make sure that this works properly for everyone. I don't know if anybody's up for it. You can feel free to donate to the cause to help us make this a better platform. You can simply join with a free membership and give me your feedback. Like, your feedback is just as valuable as paying for a membership to me, because it's not about the money. It's just being able to make sure I'm still paying my bills, which I'm trading myself, but also paying for the bills of the website without it having to necessarily come out of my pocket, but also contributing back to the platform that's contributing to you. And it's $69 a month. I want to explain that to somebody. If you're following these trades, you should make $69 in a few weeks. And so essentially your membership is free for you, to have access to these types of trades. I just want to point that out. I'm not here for your money. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm okay. My information is valuable. My time is valuable. I own an entirely different business. But I enjoy this, and I want it to be worth my while. So if you don't want to pay for our trade alerts, that's fine. Register your free membership and just join the community, man. We're trying to build a safe and secure network for all of our investors to be a part of, to be able to trade, to be able to share information with each other, do research and collect and log that information to also allow other members to have access to, and help people grow as investors, as traders, to make better investments and trades. It bothers me because of my morals and my morality to see people falling victim to what's going on in this market. And I'm doing my best and my part to contribute back to the community that taught me so much and drove me to do what I'm doing here and build the platform that we have. I mean, it's not the best platform in the world, but it will be. We're currently building a mobile app, so be sure to keep up to date on when that comes out, so that's right in your hand. You don't have to do anything else. But other than that, we're running 1 minute short of 2 hours, and I was not expecting to do this longer than 10 to 20 minutes. Excuse me. I'm glad everybody joined, and I look forward to doing this. If you want to do coffee and stocks every morning, that's great. I know some people aren't allowed to. I have a flexible schedule, but I'd be more than happy to do that. If we do more live sessions after the markets close, we can do coffee and stocks in the afternoon. We can do pre-market coffee and stocks and after-hours coffee and stocks, and just go over the daily trade. Just let me know. I mean, any ideas that you guys would like to do here, I'm more than welcome to try it out, try new things. I'm trying to build this YouTube channel. If you would please subscribe to it, and also share it with other people, man. That's all I can ask of you. Just show your support. Let's get everybody in here and just relax. But other than that, we're getting ready for a cold winter polar vortex and 8-degree weather here in Louisiana, which I don't remember the last time we saw 8-degree weather. So I'm going to get back to my weekend. Once again, thank you all for being here. I really enjoyed it. It really inspired me to keep doing this. I can't say that enough. I want to show my appreciation. I'm glad that we got to discuss some of the questions and stocks that you guys have versus just looking at all of mine all day, because that's all I do, of course. But yeah, I'll be reaching out to everybody. I'm not sure what channels everybody's coming from because I'm blasting out to all of them. So be sure to connect with us on whatever channels that you're on by looking at the links in the description below, so that we can have one center point to talk with everybody outside of the website if you're not up for creating your free membership. Other than that, man, thank y'all for watching for sure. And have a great weekend. Stay safe with this pandemic still going on. And, I'll be talking to y'all Monday. Be looking for some of our trades coming out, some of our trade reviews with some of our open trade alerts. If there's any trades you want me to do videos on, feel free to find me on one of the social media links or comment in my videos and let me know. If I release a video and you see it, drop a link, a comment on a stock you want me to review. I don't mind taking the time to do it. It's pretty quick for me now how I have everything set up. So other than that, man, like I said, y'all enjoy. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did, and thank you once again. I truly appreciate you being here. I wasn't expecting it at all. So Tim out, man. Peace.